guys, John McNamara, host, Runnin Vegas. We're talking local sports, business, real estate. My co-host, Mr.
Rodrigo. Always happy to be here. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
Yeah.
Please like, subscribe.
Oh. And just sign up for the alerts. Leave us a comment. Let us know how we're doing. All of the above.
All of the above.
Show us some love. Share this with your family, with your friends, with your neighbors.
With your UNLV basketball and football friends.
Even though there's a very slim amount of those. Just do share that.
It's basically us.
Yeah. I think we will grow that fan base, though, throughout these years. So
yeah,
it's starting to get better.
So today's pod, we're talking UNLV basketball preview for the season. So these are some of our fun pods. I love having guests on, but we kind of just tackle what's going on with men's basketball, a little bit of UNLV football. We're kind of rounding out the year. We'll talk about that at the end. And let's get into it. So game one, UNLV, Alabama State.
Monday night, 8:30 p.m. game. Like, how late? Like, why would they do that to us?
I don't know.
Even if I try to go to the game, I would not consider an 8:30 game.
It was
behind the strip. Like,
I don't even know because it wasn't on national TV or anything.
No,
so I don't even it was like on the Mountain West channel or something.
I think, like, besides Monday Night Football, there was no Golden Knights or any other excuse. So,
well, maybe it's the Monday Night Football.
Yeah,
because Monday Night Football ends at 8:30.
Around 9-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I thought it was a late game. As I heard, we had about 4,500 fans out there.
I think that's the sold tickets, so I don't know.
Yeah, if they even showed up. Yeah, it seemed pretty empty.
Yeah,
so.
8:30 on a Monday, night before the election.
That's true. Wow.
We're not talking about the election day.
No.
But either way, UNLV got a win. 93-79 against Alabama State, and they looked good.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a big game just because last year they lost to Southern. It just really, I remember last year when they lost, like, oh man, like the season's over.
Right. We're doomed.
All right. And they ended up having a really good season. It was fun. Made the NIT. We enjoyed it. But it just really takes the wind, out of your sails to open up. So I thought it was a good game. We won. We covered, right?
Yeah. UNLV was favored by 13.5 points, so they won exactly by 14.
Yeah.
So that was positive. I know at halftime, the UNLV was up, but it wasn't by many points. So I was a little concerned. But it seems like, we kind of drove away second half.
Yeah.
Which is usually what we do, like, right? They step up second half, finish out the game very strong.
Yeah, I would say Kruger is probably a better second half coach, and then also I think DJ Thomas does a pretty good job of like
closing.
And being a good closer, being clutch.
Yeah, I
think the big takeaway. It's just one game because we'll know like 10, 15 games down the road of like really what this team looks like, and then conference, and then that's a whole different dynamic. But the big takeaway I got was we could score.
Yeah, that's true.
We scored over 90 points, and we could shoot from outside. I think they hit over 50% of their threes or close to it.
Wow.
The other flip side of that is Alabama State scored 2.
Yeah.
And they were in their threes.
Man.
So was Alabama State hot, or does our perimeter defense suck? We don't know the answer to that one, but that was the big takeaway of that game.
Yeah. I can see how states like Alabama could come into the Vegas atmosphere and then just want to shut us down, right? I think it adds an extra chip to the opposite team to kind of go harder, knowing what Vegas is known for, right? We've always been about the sports and the sports wagers, things like that. So I'm sure when they're coming into Vegas territory, that matters even more.
Yeah, and I looked them up too. I think they were like preseason looking I think they play in the SWAC, but I think they're ranked like 6 preseason. But I thought they were, pretty solid team. They were athletic, moving up and down. They shot it well. So we'll see. You never know with preseason, until the season actually starts. But they look pretty like a solid, smaller school.
Okay. Yeah, so just to be clear, this was a preseason game. Then the first official game would be Memphis.
This was regular season.
Oh, this was regular season.
We want to know.
Were you? Did you keep updated with the preseason games? Were there any preseason games for us?
So yeah, we had some scrimmages. So we won in overtime against San Diego. So like preseason for like college basketball, it's like they don't. It's behind like closed doors, basically. I don't know how they call it, but fans can't go to them.
Gotcha.
And I think we played UC Barber or something. And I think we actually lost. So, but I think DJ Thomas was out.
Oh yeah, he was.
We had a lot of injuries going into the week, so that was another positive. DJ ended up playing. I think all the guys that were potentially not going to play ended up all playing. So another takeaway I got out of this game was Rob Whaley did not start the game. Hill actually started over him. So I thought that was really interesting because Whaley was probably our second best returning player of last year.
Yeah.
He looks like he's a bigger kid now. I think he added a little weight. He looks like he's 300 pounds, not 260 pounds anymore. And I know he had weight issues coming in originally, and he lost it, and he looked great last year.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really interesting. I don't think it's actually a bad thing because I like the starting lineup, but I feel like we have 6 starters almost.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that will change as it goes. It's kind of fun we're smaller.
Yeah.
You know, because Hale's a really good defender. He can move the ball. He's coming off the ACL tear. But I think Willie will probably regain that at some point, or there'll be injuries, there'll be mix-up. Kruger will play the best players. He always does. So.
For sure. That is interesting. So he gained some weight, not in the positive way.
I don't think so. No.
I feel like he was maybe hanging out with me.
I think so.
But that's interesting. No, but I do like, hey, whatever works, right? Maybe he's kind of like the weapon under his sleeve. Like we just pull him out and gets to work. So
well, Hale's he's not a guy that. He's not going to be like the guy, the scorer, but he can get rebounds, he can defend, he can score. Like he's just a really well-rounded player. I think he was like a 4-star kid out of Clark here. He went to Oklahoma, came here, tore his ACL. So that's why he's back. I don't know if he's 100% yet. He looks good out there. But he's more of like a high-end role player. He's going to be really good for us defensively and just, putbacks. But so for him to be the star for this game over Whaley, like Hill is a legit player. It's not like, and maybe just he'll beat him out straight out. I mean, maybe it's not even a weight issue. But I thought that was super interesting because Whaley, I was like, going into the year was like, that guy is definitely our second best player returning, and he came off the bench. So I don't know what's going on there, or maybe he was injured. I have no idea. We don't really actually know.
Do bad grades like weigh into this? Like if
he played 14 minutes, I believe. So. So either way, some other good takeaways though was Bear Cherry, 24 points, 11 rebounds.
He's a monster.
Dude, 6'11", 280 pounds.
And he's got that intimidating look too.
Yeah.
That's what I like about him.
Yeah, he was finesse. I think he went like 11 for 12 on the floor. Just every when the rock got to him, it went in the basket.
Wow.
So it kind of reminds, like I really liked Willie last year. Like every time Willie got the ball, he put it in the basket. He was really good. But he's 6'6". He had issues rebounding, defending. Yeah. Bear Cherry, he can rebound, and he's like another version. He's a JC guy too, so I think that's why I'm comparing him a little bit. But I think we've definitely upgraded at the position. Boone played that spot last year, athletic center, probably was a better 4 than a 5. But he's big, he's intimidating, he can play defense, like he's going to clog that middle, so I think we've upgraded there.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree. Yeah, that guy was looking great. Yeah, all the highlights were about him. So yeah.
The other positive too I saw was we could shoot from outside. That has just always been an issue with Kruger every year. We have maybe 1 or 2 guys that can shoot from outside consistently. I think like last year was Keelan. He shot like 37. We loved watching him, tall kid. He could hit the rock from outside. Had that huge
long shots,
shot for the BC game.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a great shot. But, so another takeaway was Julian Rishwan, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. He had 13 points, got 4 out of 8 3-point shots, 50%. This kid's a shooter. He came from San Francisco, transferred to Florida, got injured last year, and then he transferred to UNLV. I think he's like 6'5", 6'6". He's like a legit wing. I don't know how good of a defender he is, but we have outsides, and Bedford, our starting shooting guard. I think he had a solid night. I think he went 2 for 6 or something like that. But he's got a lot of finesse to his shot. DJ Thomas, it looks like he's going to shoot 37%. So we got like a lot of shooters this year. So, I mean, that's exciting. So,
for sure. Yeah. No, we need to put up points, right?
Yeah.
And that's what people go out there to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully that drives up the fan base as well. So everyone out there, get out there.
Out there.
Support.
And DJ Thomas, 17 points, 7 assists. And he just kind of looked like bigger. Like last year, he looked like a kid, but he actually looks like a legit college basketball player now. So he had some weight, good weight, not the Rob Whaley weight. So.
Like, shout out DJ.
Shout out DJ.
So I'm hoping he's full healthy back on now, or do you know if they're still watching him? Or?
So he rolled his ankle, so he was on crutches for like a week or two, and they were saying he was going to potentially be out for this Alabama State game that he played, and then also for the Memphis game coming up. So he ended up playing. He looked good.
Yeah.
I think he ended up playing like 30 minutes, which might be better for him. They end up getting Jace Whiting, and he's a Boise State point guard, who's definitely not as good as CJ Thomas. And though it's good that we're going to have some other options, maybe Brooklyn Hicks, who played very well last night, or Monday night, excuse me, defensively, and he can shoot it. He shot like 40% from outside last year. I think he shot well again next year. He's probably the future, either point guard or shooting guard for this team. So we have a couple options. I don't know if we really, unless we're playing a Memphis or a San Diego State or New Mexico, I don't think they probably want to play DJ Thomas 35 minutes. You probably want to play him 28, 30, keep him healthy for the year.
Yeah.
Make sure this kid is healthy for the Mountain West Conference, So I think that's why they brought in a ton of guards this year, We saw a difference though. When DJ was in, they dominated. When he was out, I think they had more points scored against him. So they were net negative without DJ Thomas.
Wow. Okay. So. Yeah, I can see that for sure. So Xavier Stanton, he decided to go to BYU.
Xavier Stanton, top 25 prospect locally. Yeah, we thought we had a chance, but BYU's got a lot of NIL money.
Yeah, what's going on in Utah, man? I'm sorry.
NIL is it's changing the game.
That's true.
So, apparently, too, the number 1 kid in the nation is predicted to go to BYU as well.
Wow.
So I think that kid's going to get, can't remember his name, but I think that kid's going to get like $3 million. Yeah, a year. So, and he's a legit, I think he's going to the NBA. I was listening on the radio the other day, he's like legit 6'9", and he's a legit shooting guard. Wow. So,
okay.
BYU's got some big money. They're showing it. They're doing football. I think they're in the playoff prediction right now. Basketball, they look like they're going to be good. So, BYU, the transition to NIL has been a very positive thing for them, and they moved to Big 12. A lot of positive things for that program. But, it's too bad we missed on this kid, but I overall, Kruger, he's not I think what I've seen with Kruger with his recruiting classes, they're not necessarily like eye-popping classes.
Yeah.
I will say this, though. He's bringing like high 3 stars, low 4-star kids in, and most of them are hitting.
Right.
They actually play well. They're long, athletic. They're more developmental players where we're getting a lot into transfer. And I think Kruger's done a good job of that, of getting high school kids and doing it like more the traditional way and then bringing the transfers, which I think long-term is better for the program.
Yeah.
But we've seen it with like Rob Whaley, some other kids, like I've just seen it like Dave Rice, great example, right? He brought in all these 5-star, 4-star kids and half of them were good.
Yeah.
And where I feel like Kruger's hitting more than he's not, and it may not be, for exception DJ Thomas, he's not bringing in, top 10, top 5 recruiting classes. So
yeah, develop them,
Yeah,
for sure. So yes, but he was the center position, right? Xavier.
Center, 7 foot, I think it's like 205 pounds. So Xavier Stanton, good luck to you in BYU, and we missed out on it, but they have a solid recruiting class right now, bringing in a small forward and a shooting guard right now. I'm sure they'll bring some other talent in before.
Sure.
Yeah,
as the season develops. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So leading up to that, so we got Memphis this weekend, 3 o'clock at the Thomas and Mack.
Thomas here, yeah.
What's your prediction?
I'm not really familiar with the Memphis basketball, to be honest. I know it's an important game for us, so being at home, set Saturday, 3 p.m.
Saturday, 3 o'clock.
That's the hottest time of the day right now.
Yeah.
Based on those logistics, I would say we're going to come up with a W.
I like it. I like it. Always positive. It's been working well for you this year.
And due to daylight savings, we've been saving a lot of time, saving a lot of daylight, so that's going to come in helpful Saturday.
Well, Memphis, I looked at Memphis. They beat Missouri by like 11 or 12 points with a Big 12 team. So I would say better chance Memphis wins, but UNLV at home, I think we have a good chance. So.
Yeah, it'll be kind of like the first test of the season, real test of the season. So I think I'll be able to weigh out the remainder of the season based on that game. So
yeah, yeah. The non-con is interesting this year. Just to dive into it a little bit, we got New Mexico State. They're doing an Arizona tournament. Where's Mississippi State? I think it's another Big East team, and then at Crane, at Dan. So it's kind of a tough schedule in that terms because the good teams are away, for the exception of Memphis, and Memphis is early in the season.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a big game, you know.
Yeah, for sure. It'll dictate the rest of the season, but I got confidence. I think we had a great season last year. And we're just gonna roll in that momentum. So yeah. Athletics in general, like UNLV, have been doing really well. So So I think in general, as a university, as a whole school, we've got that momentum. Got that chip. Yeah,
I think on paper, and just I guess to dive in, so UNLV was preseason number 5 for the Mountain West on Media Day.
Oh, wow.
On paper, I am seeing like 8 to 9 guys that might be part of that rotation. I'm sure that will get down to like 7, 8 after, the season prolongs and injuries and all that. Like usually go down to your 7 guys. But it seems like this is a deeper team that can shoot outside. I just don't know if we've taken a step back defensively. I would say we look better this year. And I don't think a lot of people would agree with that statement from what I've just been listening, hearing, but it feels like DJ is going to sophomore year. Rob, hopefully gets back in shape. But it feels like we got 6 starters. We got some good Brooklyn Hicks coming off the bench, who's a high-scoring guard. I really like Henley, the kid from St. Paul, Minnesota. He's played big minutes. He was a starter for 2 years in the Big East and the Big Ten. So Mountain West is going to be like a field day for this kid. And he's long. He's 6'9". He can get to the basket. Freshman year, he actually shot pretty well. Not so much last year, but I think he's going to be an asset. So I think across the board, I think we've upgraded the roster and we're a little bit deeper this year. So I'm excited. And I feel like the Mountain West as a whole kind of took a step back because of NIL. A lot of Mountain West just can't compete with other big programs. They just don't have the money. So what do you think about the number 5 prediction?
That's what I wanted to ask you. So is this number 5 with the new shift at the Mountain? Oh, okay. So
that's not
that
for
makes sense.
2 years.
Okay, then that makes sense. Then yeah, I mean, it would be first like San Diego State.
So it's Boise State and Nevada, I think, are 1 and 2.
UNR?
Yeah, that might be 3. But I think it's because they have the most returning players, production.
How was UNR? How was Nevada or Reno last year?
They made the tournament.
We
watched it together.
That's actually true.
They're Alford. He's a good coach. Yeah, they're solid. They're not like super scary, but that'll be a good game.
So I think the rank 5 makes sense.
Yeah. The only thing is San Diego State, they lost a lot of talent, but it's also San Diego State, right? So they should have that, they deserve to be ranked high. I think they got the 4 seed. I think we may be better than San Diego State. Oh, sorry. And then I think it's either 2 or 3 is New Mexico. So those are the top 3. But yeah, UNLV still didn't get into the tournament. They still need to prove something. Yeah. And I think it's interesting. The big talk of Media Day was, Mountain West, because I don't know how many, we have like 5 or 6 seeds last year. I think maybe 5. but can we do it again? But I feel like we hear that story every year, and the Mountain West just keeps producing teams, and it's the same story every year, but they have 4 to 5 bids almost every year. So we'll see. NIL kind of took a big hit to it. This is big for Kruger.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't make the NCAA tournament, you really need to, because this is his 4th year, it's going to be a big decision for Harper.
Yeah.
Because I think he's got a 5-year deal, so he's got one more deal. Like, either do you keep moving forward with him, you give him another year, or you move on. And maybe that's determined, too, if Odom stays or leaves, too. I know, like, a lot of 80s don't like to make 2 big moves in a year. And Odom's probably on the way out, unless he gets that big signing, which hasn't occurred yet. But so it's a really interesting year. I think it's tournament or Kruger might be out.
Or you're gone.
Or you're gone.
Dang. Okay. A lot of pressure.
Yeah, I say so.
So the shift hasn't, the Mountain West swapping teams and all of them leaving hasn't happened yet, but so is the Grand Canyon officially in the Mountain West now, though? That did take into effect?
Yeah, so good question. So Grand Canyon this past week, they have committed to being the Mountain West. I believe that's going to be as early as the second quarter in 2025. So they won't play basketball this year in the Mountain West. They're going to stay in the WAC for one more year. They're most likely going to be in the Mountain West next year. At the very longest, it'll be 2026. And I think what you're referring to is there, some folks that don't know at home, the Mountain West and the PAC. The Mountain West is kind of like splitting, so to speak. There's going to be a PAC conference, and there's going to be a Mountain West. So UNLV decided to stay in the Mountain West. I know we've talked about in previous YouTubes, if you want to check that out, what exactly occurred, because you can do a whole show on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Grand Canyon, great basketball program. They've committed to the Mountain West. I think it was huge because really the basketball programs that are left are UNLV, UNR, and New Mexico.
Mexico, yeah.
So to get Grand Canyon, who's a legit NCAA tournament team every year, it pretty much guarantees that this league will stay in a multi-bid conference, which is huge. Because it'll make those conference games big. I would hope we could add one more. I'd love to see St. Mary, but everything I have heard is most likely they are going to the PAC. They want to stay with Gonzaga. Gonzaga committed to the PAC, the new PAC. But either way, I think there's always going to be like that 5th team too, for basketball. So we'll probably have about 3 to 5 good basketball teams every year. It'll still be a multi-bid league. One of the agreements too for the UNLV staying in the Mountain West was the Mountain West is going to conference tournament is going to stay at Thomas and Mack. It's huge for UNLV, and I love conference games and going to those games. It's one of my favorite parts of the year. So that was a huge one as well.
It's like Christmas.
It is, yeah.
Like multiple
Spring
basketball
Christmas
games in a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's fantastic. So UNLV roster starters and rotation. How do you feel about the current roster?
Feeling good. Yeah, I think we kind of talked, the starters, rotation. I'm trying to think of anybody else that's left out from there. I feel like we kind of talked about everybody. You want to go into UNLV football?
Yeah, let's do it. That's exciting. Who's up next?
We got Hawaii.
Oh, Hawaii's been doing okay.
Yeah.
They've been battling it out.
I think they beat Fresno the other day.
Yeah, they did. I was surprised.
Don't take. So we're at Hawaii. So UNLV, hopefully they do not take. At Hawaii is tough.
It's tough. Yeah, Hawaii plays better while they're out there, and then daylight savings and all those additions.
Yeah, you lose 3 hours. It's a totally different game. But yes, so it's at. We lost to Hawaii 2 years ago, which I think actually cost. Was it 2 years ago? 2 or 3 years ago, whatever it was. Whenever Arroyo was our coach, and it literally cost Arroyo his job. So that's a tough game. I think we're going to pull that out.
I wonder who's favored, and also.
We are favored by a lot, but that might be a good game to bet on Hawaii if you want the points
to keep up. I could see they've been keeping up. Hawaii's been putting up a fight for sure.
Yeah,
and being at home, and I know we had the week off, right? So we're coming up a long week. Because we didn't play.
We had a bye.
Yeah, we had a bye week.
So what it looks like is we got at Hawaii, San Diego State, at at San Jose State, and we got Reno at home Thanksgiving weekend at the Death Star.
I hope we destroy Reno. Shout out to all you Reno fans. Get ready for a beating.
Losers.
Whoa.
I have a lot of friends.
Don't run into us if we
That are going
after
to
the
Reno.
game. I promise you that.
It's a fun rivalry game. I'm excited to go to that game because that's just fun. And I've been kind of rooting for Reno, to be honest. I always think it's good when they have good athletics too. I like the competition. I like the UNLV Reno games. They are fun. But yeah, I mean, I give a lot of credit to that coach for Reno because he basically had to start the program over. I mean, they're like competing against Power 4 teams. They've won some like games they shouldn't have. I don't think they're gonna be bowling this year, but they're competitive. And who knows? That's going to be their Super Bowl thing year, is beating UNLV, who's been playing well.
Yeah.
Just never know. Like those rivalry games, those are big.
Anyway, I agree.
And you'll have a lot. It's Thanksgiving weekend. You'll have a ton of Reno fans going to that game. That will be a good game.
Yeah, because we've been going to a lot of games this season, and I'm often inviting people like, hey, whoever wants to come. No one really ever wants to come, but the most feedback I've gotten was like, I'll be at the Reno game though.
Yeah.
So I expect a big crowd for that. It'll be exciting. It'll be fun.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, a lot of people come home too, right, for the Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We have
a lot of
university kids too.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And I think it's just a natural, because you grew up here. I think it's a lot of Las Vegas kids that go to Reno to have more of a real college experience. Because is more of like a commuter school, right? Where Reno is more like a traditional college, right?
Yeah.
So we have a ton of Las Vegas kids that went to Reno.
Yeah.
So it's just a fun rivalry, and even basketball. It's great because, in all honesty, it's funny how things have switched. How Reno used to be a power for football, at least in the Mountain West, I should say. And now it's shifted where UNLV is more of the football school. Now it's only been 2 years, but now. Basketball, without question, the last 10 years, Reno has been a better basketball school than UNLV.
Yeah.
And they're getting a brand new arena.
Wow.
So and Alfred's a really good coach.
Yeah.
He's building that program well. It's funny how it's kind of flipped.
Yeah.
But either way, it's a great rivalry.
For sure.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on the last, four remaining games?
4 games. So.
Think we go undefeated the last 4?
I think we do. I would say the game to watch out for is at San Jose State.
Yeah.
We have played terribly against them over the years. Mm-hmm. I mean, we just we get crushed.
Yeah.
Like every time. And they're a legit team and they can put up points. Like they are a good team. So I think that's a game to watch out for. Probably the most confident is San Diego State at home. At Hawaii, I think we'll win that, but again, Hawaii just pulls off crazy upsets when they're at home.
Yeah.
And then there's a rivalry game against Reno, and I think we pull that off too. But at San Jose State, it's huge because I would have to look at standings. I don't know if right now UNLV is control of their destiny in terms of going to the Mountain West Championship game against Boise, at Boise. Mm-hmm. But I would think pretty confidently if they win the next 4, they would be in. I think Colorado State may hold the destiny of that, but I think we're a better team than Colorado State. Yeah. And it's hard. It's hard to win that many games in conference. So it'll be a fun end of the year. So we'll see. Sure. What's your prediction on the last 4?
I'm not. Yeah, I know San Jose has been putting up really good games, but I don't think we're going to struggle out there. I think Hawaii and UNR would be my only kind of big question marks. Hawaii, not so much. And then UNR, as long as it's fun, as long as I think the environment the best team will come out, and I truly do believe we are the best team. It can always go both ways on rivalry, but I think we could go 4-0 in the next 4 games. Yeah.
Well, I hope to see it. So we are going to wrap up this show. We got a big announcement, though. This is Mr. Rodrigo's last podcast. So I want to thank you for being my co-host.
For sure.
I appreciate it a lot. I really enjoyed doing the podcast with you.
Yeah.
Best co-host in the business. And guys, we're going to wrap this up. This is Runnin Vegas. Take care of yourselves today.